Welcome to the first breakout session of the Strand Driving Change Locally Sustainable Plans and Strategies for the Energy Transition. So this session is about the European Energy Award and quality management systems as tools to implement smart energy and climate action plans. And in this session, we will hear about two projects that were funded under Horizon 2020, so the European Research and Innovation Program of the EU. And they are Come Easy and Implement. My name is Cécile Kerebel. I will moderate this session. I'm a project advisor in CINEA. This is the executive agency of the European Commission dealing with climate infrastructure and the environment. And this is actually the new executive agency that is managing lots of programs for the Green Deal, and notably the LIFE program. So if you want to learn more about the LIFE program and the sub-program for clean energy transition, you are welcome to join one of the sessions that we organize tomorrow afternoon. There is one info session at 2:30 p.m. where some colleagues can explain a lot on the LIFE program and the sub-program. And there is also a virtual fair. But let me introduce our speakers because there are many of them and time is an issue, I think, for this session. So the first speaker will be Chiara Tavella from SPES Consulting in Genoa in Italy. And the second will be Alessandra Barbieri from the municipality of Florence in Italy. And they will talk about the Come Easy project. Then we will have Charlotte Spurtney from the Association European Energy Award AISPL, Anna Mazur, who is a project manager in CAPE, the Polish National Energy Conservation Agency, and I don't see Marek Lusik, that were initially planned, but that couldn't join, unfortunately. So before I give the floor to our four speakers, I would like to recall some housekeeping rules. We will have 30 minutes for the presentation, so 15 minutes for each presentation, which should leave us some space for the question and answers at the end. You have here some rules on the presentation, so how you can view the attendees, and you can also use the chat window to prepare some questions for the speakers and share comments. You are also free to speak at the end if you prefer to ask your questions orally during the questions and answer, you're free to do so. And during the presentation, please mute yourself, switch off your camera, not the speakers. Please keep your cameras on. And also note that the session is recorded. Voila, so I leave the floor to Chiara and Alessandra for the Come Easy project.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So we can start with Come Easy project. I can see the slide yet.
It's coming.
Yeah, perfect.
J'arrive pas à ouvrir mon PowerPoint. Ah, si, voilà. Ok, ok.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So Come Easy, as Cécile said, is an H2020 project aimed at facilitating the development of effective climate action plans and strategies at 2030 and 50, combining together the main initiatives and methodologies for municipalities like Covenant of Mayors, ISO regulation, Smart City Program, and the European Energy Award. Next slide, please. The project team we are coordinating is made of national and regional energy agencies from 7 nations and technical supporting partners. We are all members of the EA no-profit association and involved in national programs with different local names, as you can see in the slide, but under the same methodological umbrella. Move forward, please. The EA is a total quality management system developed more than 25 years ago for municipalities committed to continuous improvement of their climate and sustainable policies. It works like a standard with a third-party check and a qualified technical support. The procedure is the same in all participating nations, while the contents are tailored to specific conditions, translating at local level, EU, but also national and regional strategies. Next, please. The initiatives with targets like Covenant, Smart Cities, EEA, and ISO are standalone programs, but they are fully consistent with each other. In the framework of CAMISI, for example, 2 years ago, a memorandum of understanding has been signed between the EA and the ComEurope to further strengthen the collaboration and harmonize the system. During the project, we collaborated also with the Smart City Guidance Package, where the EA is reported as best practice for developing and monitoring smart city plans. In the next slide, you can see that there are strong similarities in the process and methodological, let's say, complementarity. The different initiatives could benefit of a multiple commitment and cross-fertilization. In case of Covenant of Mayors, for example, and European Energy Award, it could bring know-how, quality assurance, and benchmarking and motivation with a higher chance of regular follow-up to achieve Covenant targets. Next, please. With CAMISI, what we wanted to do is to pursue the mutual reinforcement, connecting the different initiatives together and facilitating cross-fertilization. To simplify the work of the municipalities, we developed several tools with the support of 18 forerunners ambassador cities, which worked with us in the development and test phase. The tools are now in the rollout phase, in use in many other municipalities, and available on the Project Open platform. They are aimed at assessing trends, like our emission path tool in particular, but also facilitate reporting. We have a CCAP creator and ISO facilitator facility, mitigation impact calculator, and a building database. We aimed also at bench learning among municipalities with a best practice library, a KPI dashboard common to all the initiatives, and also we developed a stakeholders engagement guidelines that's available on our website. Next, please. We are collecting feedbacks from participating municipalities, and the benefit they have reported so far involved the decision-making process with higher integration of policies, the evaluation of local potential and its exploitation, and the ability to involve stakeholders in midterm strategies. Now let me introduce you one of our ambassador municipalities from Italy, the city of Florence, with Miss Alessandra Barbieri, who's the head of EU Cooperation Department and Special Projects, and was involved since the beginning in the COM commitment. So Alessandra, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chiara. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just an example of the activity that have been put forward with our activity. Florence started its path to sustainability in the late 90s and step by step has moved forward to more and more ambitious targets that in one word could be summarized in long-term citizen well-being, involving different aspects as smartness, adaptation, social inclusion, efficiency, with a commitment to several initiatives and a common strategic and holistic approach based on integration and participation. Florence is then a member of Covenant of Mayors and ADAPT as an early signatory, an EEA municipality awarded 4 years ago with the silver level, a Lighthouse Smart City, and recently a CDP and Green City Accord signatory. Despite all these initiatives seem tuned to the same vision, the city has always struggled to fulfill all requirements, and the participation to Camisi project was aimed at finding an effective but simpler way of organizing the work. Next slide, please. As been said by Chiara, we have supported the definition of the test tools, starting from the emission path system calculating and storing our inventories, in a unique tool where we are now able to compare the trends with the EU and national ones, to set different scenarios and to deliver graphics for decision-making and communication. Next, please. We have supported the definition of a small KPI set, common to most of the initiatives, to monitor our achievements and evaluate our strengths or weaknesses, also through the benchmarking with other cities populating the library. We contributed to the best practice libraries because we do believe that sharing experiences among peers is very useful. We reported 3 actions that have been successful and fundamental for our transition. The first is the Smart City Plan with the co-creation processes. The second is the electric mobility action to overcome our main weakness, which was transport sector. And the third is a Smart City Control Room to support the monitoring and decision-making with all services and departments involved. Next, please. Florence contributed with other ambassador cities to the stakeholder engagement guidelines, developing reporting good and bad experiences with useful tips and tricks. We are now finalizing our CCAP, which is now aligned to the new EU target, designed with the support of the mitigation calculator tool and CCAP facilitator function. The reporting tools have been also tested with the CDP platform that have been helping us in receiving a prestigious evaluation for 2020. And we are also proceeding with our EEA monitoring process, trying to reach the gold level this year. We are supposed to have the audit next summer. Next slide, please. We have evaluated our result while setting the new target. The 2020 targets have been largely overcome with the final result at 2018 of 35–40%, decreasing depending on absolute or per capita approach. This good result allowed us to be more ambitious and to set the target scenarios at 2030 of 60% saving emissions, with a possible climate neutrality final objective to be pursued between 2040 and 2050. Next slide, please. Our CCAP has been defined following some guiding principles: continuity in the transitional process, follow-up of previous plan and action, integration of more and more sector and aspect of the municipal life, and participation and citizen focus as a human-centric approach that have been characterized. Next slide, please. Looking back to our transition past, we have been able to activate many different projects and plans to concretize the vision that we had. The CIAP was submitted in 2011, have been regularly monitored and linked with the EEA program, achieving good results and evolving into new CCAP, linked also to other initiatives, combining mitigation and adaptation. The urban development has been strongly influenced by the sustainable vision since the Zero Volume Urban Plan, and recently has been reaffirmed by the Green Plan and the new Operative Plan. The Smart City Plan, that is linked also to CIAP, has brought a pilot action and rural plan supported also by the home metro financing resourcing, with more than 20 million euro for the public lighting, the Smart City Control Room, the IT services. Also in the mobility and services sectors, many investments have been triggered by the strategy, extending the influence to the metropolitan city. We are now involved in the definition of the local recovery plan, REACT-EU Fund, which is a further opportunity to boost the implementation of the path already designed. During Camisi, we went on in our EEA program monitoring our strength, weakness, and achievements. The improvement have been sensible in the last 2 years, and more is expected with the plan under approval. Just see the green dot line. Next slide, please. That is the last one. This improvement made us enough confident to ask for an audit, as I've said, and we hope to enter to EEA Gold Club as a reward of our efforts, but also as a further confirmation of the quality of our approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Clara and Alexandra, for this very clear and succinct presentation. So well done. And now we will give the floor to our next speaker, so Charlotte and Anna, for the Implement project.
Thank you, Cécile. I'll actually leave the floor immediately to Anna, and I also think Marek is here to really present their experiences from on the ground in Poland and the pilot city of Gdynia. I'm just here in the end for questions or for any comments, as we as the association EEA have been very closely involved in both of the projects present today. So please, Anna.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So I will shortly present our experiences and our pilot municipalities and what we plan for future, or maybe what questions are stated. So please, next slide. Shortly about what is Implement project about? The core of this project is, of course, the Quality Management and Certification Program European Energy Award. The main objective is to set up the structures of the European Energy Award in 4 pilot countries: Belgium, Croatia, Greece, and Poland. And in total, 30 pilot municipalities from these countries goes through the EEA process with support of external advisors from partner countries, and with, of course, support the EMT online tool. Next slide, please. Okay, I thought there was also a slide with our team, but okay, let's see where EEA is already existing. So we have 7 countries with long-term members, and light blue are pilot countries, and pink color shows us the our 4 implement countries. Next slide, please. I am afraid that this is not the presentation I sent, because this is the same slide. Okay, next, please. Here is our team. Okay, so we have, as I mentioned, 4 pilot countries, and our project coordinator from Belgium, BBL, and we have 2 supportive organizations. BSU from Germany. Germany is long-term EEA member, so they share their experiences during the project, and also provide trainings to EEA advisors and auditors. And we have, of course, Brandes Energy represented by Charlotte. Next slide, please. Okay. I think this is not the presentation I was going to, but maybe next slide. Could you please move to the next? Oh, okay. So this is something, because I think this is the first draft of my presentation. Sorry for this confusion, but okay. So how it looks in Poland? We have we cooperate with 6 municipalities. There are different municipalities regarding the size, but also the level of implementation of energy and climate policies. So we have the biggest one, Lublin. We have Gdynia, which will be presenting today their experiences, and Olsztyn, Łomża, the smaller Pilawa, and the smallest one in the south of Poland, Raciechowice. Okay, next slide. Or okay, so we skipped here one slide, but I will only say that we have okay. This is the process, of course, in our in Poland, and how it went. Of course, the Chiara showed on her slide the process, the whole process from the beginning, the whole steps of EA process, and of course, according to this process, we had this high-level commitment from the municipalities. In each municipalities, we created together with municipal administration energy teams, and of course, we had several physical meetings before COVID. Later, these were only mainly online meetings. Now we are at the phase of selection of external auditor. In fact, we have just done it. So we are waiting for external audits in our municipalities. Next slide, please. I'm not sure what. Sure. Okay. Okay, but before I will say some words about what is in front of us before in future, I would only like to mention that we really see how beneficial and how supportive would be continuation of European Energy Award in Poland. Our municipalities tackle with different problems. Some of them are similar like other EU countries, like lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of staff, lack of financing, but also additionally in Poland we face with air pollution, and we have different national EU funds to use, but without support, without knowledge, without experience, it is difficult to use these funds. That's why EA advisors, EA tool allows to organize everything, to organize work in the municipality, to organize to focus on the most efficient energy and climate measures. That's why we are discussing with Ministry of Climate and Environment, with National Fund of Environmental Protection and Water Management. This is the institution which is in Poland responsible for distribution of national and EU funds and creating funding programs, and also is coordinator of Covenant of Mayors in Poland. So we are discussing the future. When I sent this slide is the same as in the first draft of this presentation. Unfortunately, I hope that today I will be able to say more and more information on what is decided, but still it is under discussion. So we see the need for such program. We see that and trying to convince our ministry, the national fund, but it's now more a political decision, and I hope soon I will share some more details in our project reports. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you. And now I think Mr. Marek Lucek, Deputy Mayor from Gdynia, will share Gdynia's experiences in this pilot implementation of EEA. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon from Gdynia. I'm Marek Lucek. I'm Deputy Mayor of the Gdynia, of course. And I would like thank you for all that, for invitation to speak today. I start say next slide, please. Okay. So thank you, Ms. Anna. And it's a beautiful picture of beautiful city. It's Gdynia, so maybe in this project you will came to us. But first, I would like to show you benefits about this project. Please, the next slide. I have only one slide, but I have few words about the slide. So I tell you about the benefits. So first, the benefits of this project is an inventory of activities, collection information about all ongoing and future project in one location. And at the beginning of our cooperation, we collect relevant information about all activities in Gdynia being provided by many different departments and management entities. This allows us to take a global view of energy situation of Gdynia. The next benefit is assessment of strengths and weakness, what we are good and what area we should work on. This was followed by an initial review of relevant municipal service, which shower us where we either high level of service and areas where future action should be focused in the future. Next benefit is the destination of follow us action and community to perform those action. It's the next step was we create an action plan for coming years, which we are now implementing. The next benefit is strengthening of cooperation and information exchange between cities department and coordination of activities. The next is motivation of AVI-EAA Gold Award. We have become highly motivated and committed to activity or goal, the EAA Gold Award. We believe that this is possible. Influence of the development of the EAA criteria in Poland by helping to adapt the criteria to condition in Poland. We feel that we are a participant of something very important and that we may have a real impact and fluency of developing those criteria. Support by KEEP energy advisors. During this whole process, we have received the full support of the professional from the agency, and we value this support very, very much. Compared to the other city, it's a final, but I would like to mention that it's very important for us to be able to compare Gdynia with other cities in the Europe. This presentation Pani Miss Hania Górecka-Banasik. She is expert in Gdynia of our project. And if you have any problem, if you have any question about that, she is also with us. So send her questions. She prepared the answer. So thank you very, very much for the listening, for the few words. Of course, I hope you will visit Gdynia, of course, and thank you very much. See you.
Thank you very much, Anna and Marek. I'm happy that you were able to join in the end. So thank you. So now I will open the floor to questions. I haven't seen any in the chat, so I guess that our audience will rather take the floor. So please just switch on your mic and ask your questions if you have any on these two very, very good project, Come Easy and Implement. And maybe while the audience, no, we still have one. Julia? Yes.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Giulia Conforto. I work for eThink. It's a research center that is a spin-off of TUVIN, and we support municipalities in their process of implementation of their SECAPs. And I would like to know from the mayor of Firenze, she was showing a slide with the progress of the results in emission cuts. And I would like to know if you can share with us if this slide was made by monitoring yearly the actual results of the mitigation actions, or if the monitoring was done every few years and in between there were some estimations, or if you only do the energy balance and then from the energy balance you calculate your emission inventory, just from a methodological point of view. Thank you.
Okay. I'm the director, not the mayor, actually, and I hope to be in charge of this work for some more years at least. Let me say that when we have made in our inventory emission to start to monitor the state of art, of course, we have also make some provisions, because otherwise we would never be able to submit a plan for the Covenant of Mayors and also for SIP and SICAP, both of them. And it was required, of course, to take part of them. And after this estimation that was based, also taking into analysis a sort of a modeling system, then we have been monitored during the year, the result, taking into account the real data instead of the monitored one. So in the beginning, we have some modeling system, of course, in order to make our provisions for the 2020, but thanks to the monitoring system, we were able to compare what was expected with what was at the final as a result. So it's a combination of both.
Very interesting. Yeah, I was asking you this question because we have the experience with many small and medium-sized municipalities that don't have the means to run a monitoring or to run an actual assessment every year. And so it's interesting to see that it's a city of the size of Florence that is not so big in the end.
No, it's a medium. Yeah, absolutely.
You managed to find...
Yeah, it was quite hard work, and we were helped since the beginning by the Space Consulting, even thanks to the European project that gave us the opportunity also to match the result, bearing in mind what was done some other cities, larger cities to be true, and that's make also available some tools at the ER system to choose and benchmarking what would be more easier for us to adapt to our daily works. Because right now, the tool that we have been using after this developed test is a sort of daily management of the results.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting. I actually do have another question, if I may, but I don't want to take space from anyone else.
I don't see other questions for the time being, so please go ahead.
Then I go on. Miss, sorry, I'm not reading your full name, Barbieri, I guess. Could I ask you if you can share with us what were your main sources of funding and financing for the implementation of the mitigation actions? Did you divert regular taxes into the transition, or did you use innovative techniques?
Okay, we started using some European funds. That, to be true, it's the basis of our main developments, even thanks to, just to make the main examples, this for the experience of Florence, to be a lighthouse smart cities in Horizon 2020 Smart Cities and Communities. We take the opportunity to go from planning to action, let me say. We started with our smart city plan that is aligned with the CIAP and CICAP, and we have the opportunity to test if the provision that we made, making in reality, came through. And the results, of course, were very comfortable for us, but give us also the opportunity not to have some scaling up experience because it was a district in the beginning. So we enlarge at city level and we are enlarging at the metropolitan city, even thanks to some opportunities that are coming, for instance, from planning, because our sustainable urban mobility plan, just to make an example, is scaling up the experience that we had in our COP and already described also in our smart city plan. And this gives us also the opportunity to redirect some ordinary balance funds from our municipality balance to this project that give us this good result because it was aligned to expectation. And moreover, we had the opportunity coming from the POM Metro experience has been described also in the previous slides, in which we were able to arrange around 20 millions to redirect to develop some projects that were just tested or experimented to a larger city level. The smart lighting experience, I think, is the best example to plan. Just to make an example, we, after 1,000 lampposts, we were able, thanks to the POM Metro funds, to readapt more than 32,000 LED lamps, and quite all the light eye system in Florence. But also the smart city control room, it was something that has been rescheduled and redefined thanks to the ordinary, let me say, funds together with the European funds. Some funds are also coming for the energy efficiency system from the opportunities that are from our energy system at national level, that you are able to ask for some refunds when you are doing some testing and innovative action. So it's a combination of funds.
Thank you very much. Could I maybe extend this same question to the other representatives? What was their experience with funding their transition? Mainly European funds, redirecting traditional taxes, or using national funds or private financing mechanisms?
If I may answer your questions, we have experience with more than 70 municipalities in Italy following the Covenant of Mayors and their CIEPS implementation. And I would say that there's always a combination of these sources of funding. So you have to use anything available and possible to concretize the vision you have in mind. The important thing is that you have a clear vision and a clear planning framework that could allow you to implement those projects in an easier way and quicker way, also from the administrative point of view, let's say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree with this perspective. Thank you. The reason why I'm asking these questions is because with the municipalities that I'm working with currently, they struggle to know which funds are available. They think that European programs sometimes are too complicated and too time consuming to actually be able to create a consortium sometimes and apply for projects. And they struggle to understand where to find the funds. They have an action plan, it's published, it's ready to be implemented, but finding the resources is their current main issue.
Thank you, Julia, for
Thank
sharing.
You.
I will, because we still have 5 minutes, I would like to see if the audience has other questions for the speakers. Otherwise, I would have one more on the added value of the EEA to implement the CCAP. If you would think of the main added values to use this kind of systems, quality management systems, to implement your plans, what would that be from your experience? Maybe for Anna, for the implement project. We cannot hear you. You have to switch on your...
Okay, sorry. for me it's difficult to say how well, it's obvious for me what is the added value to create the SICAPs, but we in our municipalities well, do not focus on SICAPs. This is the we have they are not obliged, but the most popular strategy document is the low emission carbon plan, and this is for sure. EA also supports creation of such plans, any updates to these plans, because well, it includes all the energy and climate measures, and of course it's using the tool, as I said in my presentation, organizes the work and allows to focus on most efficient, the most the measures giving the best results. But so I'm not sure if this is the answer for your question, but this is from our experience in Poland.
Yeah. And for the other project, would you have a main added value for? Yeah.
Yes, from CAMESI point of view, I would say that the EA, it's a quality management system that has to be embedded in the daily life of the municipality. So it helps in breaking silos between the different departments, and it's very important when you build up and implement your CIPs or SICAP. And also it supports you in the stakeholders engagement. And this is also another very important part, because municipal consumption is just a small percentage of the full territory consumption. So it's important to have everyone on board to achieve SICAP's targets.
Thank you.
May I maybe add also, it's part of an answer also to Julia's first question, maybe. I think what's also different with the EA, it adds a qualitative perspective to the quantitative aspect of the Covenant of Mayors, which deals a lot with this data, and where we also experience, as you said, for small and medium-sized municipalities, it's sometimes difficult to just get them. And sometimes in the end, they end up not being very much adapted to the reality on the ground, because they're broken down from regional level or national level. So through a qualitative focus and through these qualitative measures, as Anna says in our EA catalog, I think you've got another perspective on which you could work on. Which actions are easy, where you would have to change, for example, your internal organization to get better, etc. So you're not purely just having this quantitative focus, but an additional hint of what works well and what doesn't work well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's also very important. Thank you.
We still have 2 minutes left. So if there is a last question, otherwise I will wrap up. I don't see all the participants, so it's a bit difficult, but I don't see any questions. So it will be the time for me to thank the speakers. It was really enlightening and really well done to having captured the main process in such a level of details and so little time. I'm quite impressed, I must say. The session will be recorded, so you will have the opportunity to rewatch it if you want, and the recording will be available on the conference website. The next session, so the next breakout session of this strand is about Build Upon 2 project. It will start at 2 o'clock. So the audience should just click on the link on the dashboard in the conference website. We encourage you to use the networking platform if you want to continue the discussion. So please feel free to use it. It's also in your dashboard. And voila, I think I've covered all. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of the conference. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.